Well guys, I've been in the marketplace again. So let's take a walk out here to the driveway and have a little peek under this black cover to see what I have. Now, there's a background to this bike. I'll tell you what it is. I was approached by a guy out of Wisconsin. He gave me a call and wanted to know if I was interested in buying his motorcycle. He said he had a fuel leak and he couldn't stop it inside the carburetor. And he simply just wanted to sell it. Now, when he told me what he wanted for it, I almost fell over. I couldn't believe how cheap it was. I mean, it was literally pocket change what he was asking for it. So I couldn't say no to this bike. So I jumped in my SUV. I got a U-Haul on the way back and I picked this thing up. He's out of Wisconsin. And he was willing actually to come down even more in price. I didn't have the heart to knock him down anymore since it was literally pocket change what he was asking for it. I pulled the cash out of my pocket and I just gave it to him. And we loaded this thing up on my U-Haul and now I have it home. This is not the kind of bike that I usually buy and what I would be interested in. But for the price he was asking, I didn't have a choice. I had to go to Wisconsin and to pick this thing up. So anyway, okay, now I was talking to Edzilla 64 on YouTube because Ed and me kind of chat back and forth a lot, and he's seen this bike sitting in the background. And Edzilla 64 said he thinks there's a pair of apes underneath this cover. So pretty soon we're going to pull the cover off, and Edzilla 64 is going to find out if this bike has a pair of apes underneath the cover. Well, Ed, you're going to be a little bit shocked what I have underneath this cover. Hey, listen, if you guys are online and you want to look up Edzilla 64, he's a great guy. He's got a great channel, puts out really great content. So go ahead and Edzilla 64 on YouTube and check out his channel. Ed's a really great guy. Okay, we're going to pull the cover off this thing now so Edzilla 64 can actually see this thing and all the rest of you guys. And like I said, I didn't buy this bike actually for me. I bought this bike because I got it so cheap. Okay, I couldn't say no to it. Okay, now here it is. I'm just pulling the cover off and I'll pan down pretty soon and I'll show you what I have. Okay, all right, I'll put the camera on it now. The suspense is over. Okay, what I have here, guys, is a 1983 Honda Magna V45. It's a 4-cylinder 750 and it's water cooled. It's shaft drive. It's got a 6-speed transmission overdrive in it. It puts out 80 horsepower. This is a very powerful bike. You're not going to believe how powerful this bike really is for a 1983. It's not a heavy bike and it's not a light bike. It's a mid-sized bike that really puts out a lot of power and it revs really high. It's got dual front disc brakes on it. It's got the radiator up front here. And like I said, it's a V4. It's a V4 cylinder. And that's the shaft drive back there. And it's got the silky smooth 6-speed overdrive trans in this thing. It shifts like a dream. Okay, now the guy called me. He said he had a leak inside the carburetors up here and he couldn't stop it. And he didn't know where all the leaking was coming from. So he gave up on it and he just gave it to me pretty much. So let's go around the bike a little bit more. Like I said, it's got the shaft drive back here. He's got a brand new tire back here. But some of the features on this 83 Honda are really super impressive for such an old bike. It's got the super sturdy big frame on it. Got a big sturdy frame going around this engine right here. But here's the best part about this motorcycle. This is the best riding bike I've ever been on in my life. All the years I've been on bikes, this is the best riding bike I've ever had in my life. It rides like a cloud, and I'm going to tell you why it does. It's got air forks in the front end. Okay, also it has an anti-dive screw right on here. You could adjust this anti-dive adjustment, and you could adjust the dive in your front forks as you hit the brakes. But the front suspension is incredible. It soaks up all the bumps from everything, and it rides like a cloud. Now, that's not the only part of the suspension system on this Honda. Let's go to the back. Look at these shocks back here. It has the reservoir shocks, which again are really incredible. You don't feel anything. If you have a bad back, you got to have these things. These shocks are just awesome. They take up all the bumps, all the big hits you would take if you have a bad back. And these reservoir shocks, I got to tell you, since I have these on this bike, I would put these on my Harley Davidson. I would put these on anything. These reservoir shocks are incredible. But with the combination of the reservoir shocks in the back and the air suspension up in the front, this bike, you can take on long trips, take it anywhere you want. It just floats like a Cadillac. It floats like a big couch, you know. It just floats along. It's the best suspension that I've ever had. So that is impressive. Now, what's also impressive is the amount of power this bike has. It's like instantaneous power, and I could best explain it. It comes on kind of like a two-stroke. When you hit the throttle, it'll pin your ears back. The power seems to come on all at one time, and it's really easy to get it to 10 grand going through the gears. Man, you're in first gear with this thing. You're doing 60 miles an hour in first, second gear. Easy. And the amount of passing power with this bike is awesome. It's just incredible. And I'm used to my old Harley Davidsons. You know how the power, it kind of comes on gradual, and it's kind of predictable. Well, this is a little bit different. This is, like I said, it's like a two-stroke. It comes on all at once, pins your eyeballs to the back of your head, and you're like a rocket ship going down the road. It's got all the passing power you can possibly need with this thing. It's a mid-sized bike, it's a mid-weight bike, but with the kind of power and the soft ride this thing has, you could definitely take this bike on long trips, okay? Without a problem. It would be so easy on your back because the suspension system is just out of this world. They were way ahead of their time back then. And this bike, it kind of reminds me of a car, actually, because it stays cool all the time. It doesn't overheat. You can sit at a stoplight on a really hot day, and it's not going to overheat on you, okay? You got the gauge right there. And the one thing about this bike, it takes a long time to warm up because it's water cooled. So it takes about 4 or 5 minutes for this engine to get up to temperature. And even after 4 or 5 minutes, to be honest with you, it's not fully up to temperature yet. But that's the one thing about this bike. And what's really cool about this bike here is that the gas tank, you take off a nut on this side and a nut on the other side, and the gas tank, it tilts way up, and it has a prop rod. And you could put the prop rod underneath the tank, and it holds the tank up straight up like this, and so you could work down here. Okay, another thing about this bike, here's the main fuel tank right here, but it's got a secondary fuel tank right under here. If I pull this off, you would see a 1 gallon auxiliary fuel tank underneath the side cover. So when this gas tank starts to run out of fuel, you'll have a little light up here. It's going to light up saying you're low on fuel, and you have a gallon left inside your other little gas tank. That's a gallon underneath the side cover. We'll take the seat off here real quick. Okay, it's got a fuel pump right down there. It's got a big fuel pump. right here. And here's that gas tank I was talking about, that 1 gallon gas tank. It's got a reserve here, and this is it. And that's the switch for it. And when it gets low, it's gonna light up a low fuel light on your dashboard saying you're low on fuel and you have a gallon left in this thing. But it's got that huge fuel pump in this thing that's down there. You see it? But for a 1983, all the features that this bike has is just incredible. It's really something else. And like I said, this is not the kind of bike that I usually buy. If I told you guys what I paid for it, you wouldn't believe what I paid for it. You wouldn't believe. Well, it was almost for free. It was almost for free. Okay? And, you know, it was just incredible. I felt guilty because I kind of knew what the issue was with this bike before I bought it. And I told the owner, I said, listen, if you don't want to sell it to me, I can tell you what the issue is and how to fix it. And I was willing to jump back in my SUV and drive all the way home without it, you know, because I felt sorry for the guy. But he was intent. He wanted to sell it, so I couldn't say no. I packed it up, and here it is. Now I have it. Now, when I picked it up, it was dirty, you know, and I took about probably 6 hours on this bike trying to get it where it is right now. The paint job, it was really dulled out super bad with the fuel coming down here, and I did the best I could try to buff it out, and it is what it is. And I may do another paint job on this bike so it looks like it's brand new again. But this is a perfect bike to have if you want to ride it to work every single day and park it in the parking lot and you go in and not worry about it getting stolen or anything. I mean, the bike can be an everyday transportation vehicle for somebody, you know, that wants a very reliable motorcycle that you can easily take it on any expressway, have more than enough power, you know, to keep up with everybody and to pass them. I mean, it's got 80 horsepower in this thing. Think about it. I mean, it's a V4 cylinder, all right? It doesn't lack on power, believe me. And to be honest with you, it's probably the fastest bike I've ever owned. It is. This is the fastest bike I've ever owned. In fact, it kind of scared me when I first got on it. I didn't expect that kind of reaction from the engine, that power to come on so strong and so fast. Almost like a two-stroke motor, you know, where your feet come flying off the foot pegs and you go jerking in back in the seat and the front end is up in the air. This is how this bike kind of feels when you hit the power. So you got to be careful. You got to roll the power around with the throttle really easy with this bike. You can't jerk it because it'll jerk you right back in the seat, and this thing's off like a rocket ship going down the road. It can really scare you and get you in a lot of trouble. Okay, I'm going to start this bike up, and this bike is ice cold. It's been sitting for about 3 weeks in the garage. So I'm going to start it for the first time in 3 weeks. Here's the choke on it. You got to push this choke all the way up. And then I'm going to just turn on the key real quick here. And I'm going to give this a couple of shots right here. Let's see what happens. We'll do it again. Like I said, it's ice cold, so I'll give it a couple of shots of fuel here in the throttle. Not yet. Maybe out of fuel. Sounds like it. There it goes. There it goes. I got the choke all the way on right now. But when it's warmed up, it starts instantly. Like I said, this bike was sitting for about 3 weeks without being started. Just pushing the choke off a little bit, let it idle down better. Got a big fat tire back here. All the lights work on it, all the turn signals work on it. Kind of listen to that V4 engine. It's got a nice quiet top end in it. Alright guys, you don't need a $25,000 motorcycle to take a long trip with. Okay? This old Honda, this 1983 Honda, has got all the features that you can use on a long trip, especially with this beautiful air suspension on it. It's incredible. And the amount of power this thing has, it's awesome. Take anywhere you want to go. So I can go to Sturgis with this old 83 Honda. It's a reliable motorcycle that's really, really fast. Got the suspension that I would want on a long trip. And you know what? Hey, 350 bucks. That's it, guys. $350. Alright, starting to warm up a little bit better. It's not fully warmed up yet. This motor likes to rev pretty well. It's got a holder for your phone. It's got dual mirrors on it. It's idling down now to 1,000 RPM as the temperature begins to come up a little bit. So it idles really well. Getting warmed up now. So there it is, guys. This is your long distance motorcycle that I got for pocket change that I could ride anywhere I want. Use it as an everyday motorcycle to go to work with, in town, or on a long trip with this beautiful air suspension system. And all the power that you want. 80 horsepower is a lot of power on a mid-size motorcycle. So there it is, guys. My brand new marketplace purchase. 1983 Honda V45 Magna 4-cylinder. This is it, guys. Thank you for watching Mags and Tillotson. And until then, I'll see you guys on the next video. You guys take good care of yourselves. And again, you don't need a $25,000 motorcycle to go long distances and have a good time with, or to go to Sturgis. This is the example. 350 bucks.
by the way, all I had to do is tighten down 2 float bowl screws to stop this fuel leak. That's it.